This is going to be a recorded statement taken on July the 12th, 2009. This is Investigator Buddy Neesmith in reference to Sheriff's Complaint Number 09S017289. I'm speaking to Miss Brant. Miss Brant, would you state your full name and spell each of it, please?
Carol Sue Brant, CarolSueBrant.
Okay, and is there a maiden name?
It was Baker.
Baker? B-A-K-E-R?
Yes.
Your home address?
318 Palm Court.
And home phone?
Area code 850-439-2175.
And the cell number?
My cell number is 850-380-9010.
And your date of birth, please?
10/21/44.
And your social? Okay. Can I call you Carol?
Yes.
Carol, you drove up to see your husband?
He called and asked me to come get him.
Okay, anyways, I met you down there and asked you if we could talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because yesterday I met you, and we talked some yesterday.
Yes.
And I told you I needed to get an official statement, and I apologize for not doing that yesterday. It kind of got wild, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
In a hurry, which I hated to see because it kind of puts everybody on edge. But and I do apologize. Let me go on the record and say I do apologize for having to drag you up here to do that. Okay? All right. I came over yesterday because I got a call from one of our people. There's a red van on the property. Is that correct?
Correct.
And I identified myself to you.
Yes.
And I am the same person that identified myself to you.
Yes.
And then during that time, you verbally, with no strings attached, no pressure, no anything, gave me permission to search your trailer.
Yes.
And I'm the one that did that.
Yes.
And you gave me permission to search a shed.
Yes.
And the grounds around. And I told you we was getting a search warrant for the van.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's talk a little bit about yesterday. When we first started talking, we started talking about the van and why we were there. And can you give me a little history of the van?
All I know is that Pat brought it over for Leonard to work on.
Pat who?
His son.
Okay, here we go.
He's
so we
Junior.
talking about that. See, when you got to refer to him, that's how I know him. Okay. So Junior brought the van over.
Uh-huh.
When?
Oh, a good month ago.
A month ago?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what was wrong with it that needed to work?
Well, they wasn't real sure. It didn't crank right. I think the linkage, I think Leonard mentioned one time the linkage had to be fixed. And a bunch of other stuff. And I'm not mechanically inclined, so I'm not sure what all. But he's been working on a little here, a little there. Leonard can't stay on one thing long enough because of his short-term memory loss.
Uh-huh.
So he has to fix things in stages.
Uh-huh. Okay. All righty. And where do they park it?
In the backyard.
In the backyard?
Yeah.
Where in the backyard?
Well, at one time it sat behind the wooden fence. And then they got running one day and took it out to see what it was doing, brought it back in, but parked it in the middle of where I told the tow truck driver, I hope he doesn't fall in the septic.
Oh, by the garden?
Yeah.
Okay. And what day that was?
Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday of last week?
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next thing I knew, it was moved again.
Where was it?
Well, now we know where it was. It was behind the building, and Leonard didn't park it there.
Who would have parked it there? Who was the only other person that would drove that van? If your husband didn't drive it, who else would drive it?
Oh, you mean that day?
No, just period.
No, he wouldn't drive it at all. Somebody else would test drive it.
Who would have come?
Probably Pat would have come over.
Pat
or either Pat or a friend of his that has a license. So
who would that be?
Wayne.
Wayne?
Wayne.
Wayne who?
I don't know his last name.
What does Wayne look like?
He has short blonde hair.
Short blonde hair?
Uh-huh. Maybe 5'7", maybe.
Uh-huh.
5'8", 9, somewhere. I'm not very good. Anybody over 5 foot tall.
Okay. All right. How long is this, when you say short? Like mine or shorter or longer?
It could be shorter.
Shorter than mine? Okay. Is it blonde or is it sandy blonde?
No, I think it's bleach blonde.
Bleach blonde? Okay.
At one time.
Okay. What would Wayne be driving?
He has a pickup, but he hasn't been driving that lately.
What kind of pickup is it?
I have no idea.
You know what color?
It's red and tan, I think.
Red and tan?
I think.
Okay. Okay. When was the last time you saw Wayne?
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
And I know he was over helping Leonard on the van, and then he left.
Okay.
And I hadn't seen him since.
Okay. And those would have been the only other two that drove the van?
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody else would have come on the property?
Not that I know of,
Okay.
but that don't mean they didn't hop the fence.
Okay. All right.
Because we don't always lock the yard. We try to, but there are times when we forget.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then killers out there.
Well, even with the dog, if he knew them,
He wouldn't do
he wouldn't
anything?
bark.
Yeah, he got pretty comfortable with us yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. And the van was not in the middle of the yard, and then we told you it was behind the shed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Do you know who bought the van?
I thought it was Pat's van. I don't know.
Okay.
He just said, "Here, Dad, see if you can get it to run."
Okay.
So,
Okay. Have you ever ridden in the van?
I think once.
Where did you go?
To the store, put air in the tires.
Which store?
The Circle K. There on Massachusetts and W. All we did was put air in it and come back.
What day was that?
What day was it? Monday? Monday or Tuesday?
Monday or Tuesday?
That's why I know he parked it in the middle of
Who
the
drove
yard.
it?
I did.
You drove the van?
I parked it. I can drive a
Well,
standard.
you just told me. Now, see, here's where you confuse me.
You didn't ask me that.
What did I ask?
You asked who else could have drove it.
Exactly.
And I thought you meant his friends. I didn't know you meant me. No, Leonard can't drive at all.
Well, I know. I said, other than Leonard, I drove the van.
I'm sorry. I'm not